Good afternoon. How y'all doing? Good. Welcome to signing day part 2. Very excited today to add 8 new members to our football family, to the 15 that we signed in December. I think it's a credit to our coaching staff, our recruiting staff, and everybody involved with selling our vision and our plan to the players and their families. So once again, all the credit goes to those people and what they've done to make this class a tremendous success. We've added 13 in-state products by one recruiting service, 6 of the top players in the state of Mississippi, 11 on offense, 13 on defense. And throughout the month of January, in the past 6 weeks, I think we've done a great job getting out to the high schools in the state of Mississippi, creating and developing relationships with the coaches and selling them on their vision of our program, and letting them know why the best players in the state of Mississippi need to stay at home and play for the state university and help us win an SEC championship and compete for a national championship. With that, I'd like to open up the questions.
Coach, is there a sense of relief now that 2 signing days in, it's over, you can just kind of get down to football in 2018?
No, I think, it was, recruiting's very exciting, and, it's a great day for these young men and for their families, and it's a culmination of a lot of years of hard work and dedication, and for them to be able to have this day and celebrate, they've certainly earned that, so we're excited. And with 2, it kind of makes it a little bit, just different from a structural standpoint. But we want this to be a day of celebration for the kids and their families. Once this finishes and we get into next week, then we'll have the opportunity to sit down and start installing our offense, defense, and special teams plans, and then getting together with our kids when we have an opportunity.
Hey Joe, how do you think you guys evaluated your process with the offensive line this cycle?
With the entire roster, not just specifically the offensive line, we do a needs by number analysis, and with the 85 scholarships, what you need at each position and what your ideal number is, and every staff does it differently. So for us, it was a balancing act of making sure that we get the best players possible at the necessary positions, and at the same time, addressing some imbalances where they occurred. So, certainly, having, last year having, I think, 3 or 4 signed and then only 1 getting at the campus, and then certainly with, we're going to add 2 to this class. So it's something that we address to the best of our ability for this class, and one that we're going to have to work on moving forward.
One of those offensive linemen that you added, Cameron Jones from right here in Starkville, and things. Just what did you see out of him that made you, want to bring him into the fold?
No, I think Coach Jones and his staff have done a tremendous job of developing Cameron. He's a guy that has been in camp in here, and we got a lot of positive feedback from our coaches on the staff. And I think he's a guy in a year's time has really developed. He's put on weight. He's up to 295 pounds now. Played in the Miss Al game and did a really good job there, and someone that we had a lot of familiarity with. And when the opportunity presented itself to get him in the fold, we were excited to get him over here.
Fabian Lovett's guy is one of the better players in the state this year. He can play defensive end, defensive tackle. Where do you see him playing, and how early can that guy make an impact for you?
No, Fabian's a tremendous talent. Our staff worked very hard, and to have a guy of his caliber join our team is a testament to his belief in what we're going to be all about moving forward, and to what we've done to get him here. And he's a guy that can play both positions, but he's certainly a guy with his talent that we see competing for playing time immediately. And he could play either the end or the tackle position, and really that's going to depend on him. But he's a guy that from day one could come in here and compete for playing time immediately.
Coach, corners obviously were a priority here late in the class. Could you talk about Ferg and Reed?
Yeah, Ferg and Reed, two similar players in a certain regard. Taller guys, long, cover a lot of ground, great change of direction, great acceleration. And guys, you look at you talk about roster and needs by number and what we'll be graduating moving forward. They're guys that, we're very excited about from an athleticism standpoint, football IQ standpoint, and certainly playmaking ability.
Getting Aaron out of Rummel. What about him sold you as a guy you needed to pursue in this final month of the recruiting process?
Yeah. Coach Shoup had known a lot about him, had recruited him his time in Tennessee, and a lot of the staff here had been working very hard staying in touch with Aaron. And, when the opportunity presented itself, he's a guy that, he's a big safety, can play linebacker, can move him all over the field and do a lot of things. And, just his versatility, his athletic ability, went to watch him play basketball, scored over 20 in the game that we saw him play. Very intelligent, great communicator, all the things, tangibles and intangibles that you look for, he provides those.
Coach, I know you've pretty much been on a recruiting trail since you got here.
Sure have.
How do you feel like the Mississippi State brand was received on the recruiting trail with you at the helm?
I think in our in-state, and then we talk about our footprint, which is a surrounding reason, and then nationally, the response to our coaching staff and our vision and our culture and what we're going to do here as a football program has been overwhelmingly positive. And our message to the coaches in state is, like I mentioned before, that there is no reason why the best of the best have to go anywhere else to play ball, and telling them why staying here and playing at Mississippi State is a great opportunity academically, football-wise, and socially, and that great things can happen here and we can win championships. So the response has been tremendous.
Coach, how do you feel momentum from the early signing period maybe helped you lock up some of the guys from today?
I don't know if it was necessarily momentum. Certainly we had a bunch of highly ranked kids in the initial signing of 15. That there was a little bit of extended time period between the 20th and now. And what I think it allowed us to do is have a more concentrated effort because it was a lesser number and there was a lesser pool of kids out there because so many had decided to sign on the 20th. So I think, not as much momentum as a concentrated effort by our staff on the kids that we had targeted and wanted to go after.
With Fabian and Nathaniel, two guys that were committed, but you continue recruiting them through January. I mean, what did you do with that extra month with them to keep them on the ship, I guess?
Yeah, and just to mention, Nathaniel was a 3-time state champion out of Alabama, big, strong, physical guy who can run. Played a lot of receiver, played some safety, played some linebacker. He's a guy kind of like Brule that's got a lot of versatility, can do a lot of things, but I don't think it was anything incredibly unique. Very similar to what we did with the initial 15. We went in, continue to I won't say forge relationships, but develop the relationships and stay consistent in what our message is and what our culture is going to be, how we see them fit in our scheme, and how we're going to develop them, on the field, in the classroom, and in the community.
Do you know if Patterson ultimately signed with the JUCO as well?
I don't know that. Yeah.
Do you have any opinion now on the split signings periods? Because it's something everybody in your profession just didn't know how it was going to handle.
Yeah, I'm still about 50-50 with it. There are certainly, it's student athlete driven, and I can understand that, and that's a good reason for the implementation of a rule. But by the same token, I think when we get through the spring official visit period coming forward here, I think I'll have enough information to kind of make a non-knee-jerk reaction, but certainly from them, from student athletes being able to sign on the 20th and get locked in, that's great, and being able to, focus your efforts moving forward to the second signing day. But I think there'll be some things moving forward that we need to evaluate as a staff and kind of, see how the whole thing works in terms of a 30,000-foot view. I've always wanted to say that, 30,000-foot view. Sounds pretty cool.
Watson.
Yeah, no question.
Watson here is listed as a linebacker here, but is he somebody who could also play on offense? Or is he going to get a look there, or is he strictly linebacker for you?
No, we're gonna start him at linebacker, and like, you never know where someone's going to end up, but based on his skill set and once again our needs by number and where we see him long term in our projection, I think linebacker's his best position.
That's inside
coming in.
or outside?
He could do either, and with what we're doing schematically, we have the outside position and the two inside guys kind of mirror each other, and a lot of that will be based on growth potential and how he picks up the scheme. But certainly he has a skill set to play any of the three positions.
And Cameron Young's another guy who could play on either side of the ball, offensive line or defensive line. Where do you see him?
He sure can. He's a big, strong, athletic fellow. You look at his junior film, and he played mostly end and tight end. His senior tape, mostly end as well. And he's a guy that can, probably do the same thing, play inside. I mean, he's grown a lot in the past year. But, in the long run, you never know that sometimes the best offensive linemen are ones that, get moved over from the other side of the ball. So we're going to keep that open-ended and just see where his development takes him.
Hey, Joe, there were reports earlier today that Scott Fountain had left the staff. Were you able to comment or confirm on any of that?
Yeah, absolutely. None of it was finalized, and, Coach has an opportunity, to I guess it's not remain, to go back to Georgia. And, I always talk about the 3 criteria when I, consider job opportunities are personal, professional, and monetary. And, Coach really didn't have an opportunity to get in front of our kids and install his schemes. He was here in a, recruiting capacity, but, his family, kids being in school and things like that, I think the personal part played a lot of that. And, we wish Coach Fountain nothing but the best. Very good coach, very good person, and ultimately in this football program, just like with our players, our coaching staff's going to have a next man in philosophy. If somebody leaves, the person that replaces them is going to do as good or better of a job. And, we want people who want to be here because, this is a place where we can win championships. So we wish Coach the best, and we'll move forward with finding his replacement. And we haven't had a shortage of people interested.
Not to get too far ahead, but are there any immediate needs for 2019 that you're already targeting early in the spring evaluation?
Yeah, at this point, we're going to graduate quite a few, and we've already done our 2-year and 3-year kind of assessment of the roster and what our needs are going to be by position. So, some of the numbers are bigger than others, but it looks like we'll probably end up taking, one next year, at least one next year at every position. More at others, tight end will probably be the one where we end up not taking one next year, based on the numbers right now.
Just to confirm, you're looking to add another special teams guy as a special teams coordinator replacing
To replace Coach Fountain, it'll be a special teams coordinator. Yep. Yes, sir.
Timeline on that?
Sir?
On timeline on getting your replacement for Fountain?
ASAP, as long as it's the right person. So like I said, I've had a bunch of people reach out already. We're going to filter through some of those, bounce the names off people on the staff and get them in here in an expeditious manner, see what they can bring to the program, and make the hire when the time is right.